Good morning, everyone. So I have good news. Baby Yoda is going to have his happy face on today. People have reported that they have started to receive the confirmation from the California EDD that the PUA proof of employment, the PUA proof of self-employment, the PUA documents that they have submitted to the EDD were acceptable documents. So that's a little bit of good news for us starting out this December. Good morning. Family Dollars says, I remember that I said to drive a car until the wheels fall off. My car is approaching that. I wonder if I should keep it or just get something new or keep repairing it. So I wish my mom was here with us on today's live stream to talk about that. How many miles does your car have on it? And how often are you putting in repairs and how much are those repairs, right? Because here's the thing is that right now new cars are really expensive, even used cars are really expensive. And the thing is, right, cars are going to have really three major things that go wrong with them. They're going, and I'll tell you what I did. It's kind of a math thing that I did when I was contemplating selling my old car. My old car had over 300,000 miles on it, and I was repairing it a lot. Every other time I filled up the gas tank, I had to put in a quart of oil, right? So that added to the cost of the upkeep of the car. Here's what I did. I took all the repairs that I thought the car was going to need. Maybe you're worried your transmission's going to go, maybe your engine. Those are really expensive things. Those are $4,000 or $5,000. But let's say that you did your engine and your transmission. Then you're only going to need to do upkeep on your car, right? Then the car is pretty much brand new. So I would and maybe inflation has caused those things to go up too. But let's say you spend $9,000 on your car, which is crazy. That's a lot of money, right? And I hope, knock on wood, I don't have any wood in here, but I'll knock on the wall, knock on wood, that you do not have $9,000 in car repairs. But let's say that gets you another 3 years of life out of your car. So you're going to divide, I'm going to pull up a calculator here. You're going to do $9,000 divided by 3 years. So 9,000 divided by 3 is 3,000, and then divided by 12, right? 12 months. Because let's assume that you're going to take on a car payment. And I'll speak on if you're not going to take on a car payment in a minute. That would be $250 a month. And just my feeling is you're not going to find a car. Well, let's not say that. So if your new car payment would be less than $250 a month, then maybe it is time to get a new car if you're going to be doing like two major car repairs, right? If it's brakes, tires, changing your timing belt, which isn't really a belt, but anyway, maybe you'll want to do it. If you're going to get like a Kia Forte or a Toyota Yaris, if you're just, and honestly, like, it's a car, it's to get you to and from, right? Nobody needs a big fancy car. So if you get like, an entry-level car, sometimes they run specials for $99 a month. I don't recommend leasing, but if you're going to get a car and the payment's $99 a month, sometimes they do run those specials, especially at the end of the year, then maybe it would be worth it. Okay, Michael, dropping in to say hi because you didn't do Jenny's moderation. Speaking of Ginny Silver, hold on one second. She wrote a children's book, guys, and I'm so proud of her. It also the day after she released it, like, it jumped in the rank on Amazon. And guys, I bought 3 copies. I bought one to keep. I actually collect children's books, so I'm really excited. It hasn't arrived yet. I ordered it on Black Friday. So I ordered one to keep. I wish there was a way for her to sign it. We're gonna meet eventually, and I'll get her to sign it. I wish maybe if she does signed copies on her channel, which I think she should, I'll buy another copy. But anyway, I bought a copy for me, a copy to give to my local library, and a copy that I'm going to be doing a giveaway on, and I think I'm going to do it on Instagram. So I'm going to drop my Instagram information, which is Shelly's Millions. in the chat. Shelly's underscore millions. Hang on one second. I'm also going to remind everybody that if you want to invest in stocks, to go ahead and use my Webull link in the description down below. The stock market's crashing, which is interesting. It actually means that if you got your 2 free stocks now, that then they could go up in value. And of course, there's always tax implications if you cash out your stocks. Anyway, okay. Thank you, Michael, though, for stopping by. Oh, and I linked to Ginny Silver's book in that little description box. So I linked to Ginny Silver's book. I linked to my Instagram, and I reminded everybody that if you're going to get stocks, to do it through Webull. So I want to show you guys a cute little picture too that I made. Maybe some of you guys already saw it on one of the streams that I made. It's an Instagram post. I'm just so excited. She's so cute. Look at this. So I made that little graphic. So Ginny Silver didn't do the art though. She hired an artist and she's making a video about it. And I'm so excited to see it. And that discount code is no longer valid because that was just for Cyber Monday. Anyway, okay, back to your unemployment questions. Maribel says, good morning. T-Baby, oh, hi, good morning. I haven't seen you in a while. So the good news is that people are starting to get confirmation that the documents that they uploaded for their PUA, proof of employment, or proof of self-employment, they're getting confirmation that they were acceptable documents, not just like, oh, we received the documents, but they're starting to get emails that the documents that they received were good and that they don't need to send anything else. So I think me and Baby Yoda both think that that's very good news. All right. Let's see here. Vanessa, oh, you bought Ginny Silver's book for your nephew. You think he'll like it. Maybe. I'm totally going to write a book. I have the titles, guys. I'll go ahead and share those. One is Kurt's Yurt, and the second one is going to be called Barf the Bat. And Barf is going to be like, is going to be an acronym for either bats are really furry or bats are really friendly, because bats are my favorite animal. Okay. Bonnie, happy Sunday. William says, I haven't received many, I haven't checked to see if my EDD contact has gotten back to me about like if you want to upload additional documents on your unemployment claim. Hi, Debbie. We're starting to get into the Hanukkah and the Christmas and the holiday season, and I love that. Okay, Family Dollar. My little Toyota has 280,000 miles on it, but I know someone told me that those could go very far if you maintain it for 500. I'd keep it. Toyotas are known for driving a really long time. You can get at least 300,000 miles on it. And I don't know about you, but a lot of people are still working remotely. Like I'm putting less than 10,000 miles on my car right now. So I feel like then you'll celebrate the long ride it gave you by buying something else reasonable. Ben, you want me to write a book about the evil institution of EDD? But that's not fun. I don't want to do that. But yeah, they suck. Okay. Hi, Lil Rambo. Hi, Spell Legacy Like Death. Prince Ali says, is a car payment of $150 a month, but for 6 years too much? If it was lower term than the monthly payment, it would be much higher. If it was a lower term than the monthly payment, it would, I'm not reading that right. $150 a month car payment is not bad. If you can find that, do it. I actually, so Prince Ali, you're the one that refinanced your car through a credit union, which I also recommend if you're struggling with your car payments to get a lower interest rate. Even if your credit score has improved just a tad, just a little bit, even if it hasn't, it doesn't hurt to shop around and see if you can get a lower interest rate on your car. When I originally purchased my car, I financed it for 6 years. The payments were $360 a month. I needed a new car. The wheels were falling off at the time. So literally my car wouldn't drive anymore. The dealership didn't want to take it and keep it. but it really wasn't driving off that lot. And the cheapest car they had was the one that I bought. I even like called, I wanted a Toyota Corolla, but they had the sport model, which was more expensive, and they had the car that I bought, which was like $100 cheaper, but the insurance was going to be cheaper on it. So I even called, like, since there was such a small difference on the car, I full on like was like, when I was deciding, I was like, can I call my insurance company from the lobby of the car dealership? And I was like, how much would it be to insure a Toyota Corolla Sport? And how much would it be to insure a Prius C? And they told me, and it was cheaper on the Prius C, and that is what sold me on the car. And I bought it on September 13th, so of course I named it Jason. Okay, back to your unemployment questions. I'm terrible today. But I do like talking about different subjects than unemployment, so I appreciate those questions. Linda says, anyone that drives a fancy car is kind of not smart, like a BMW or Mercedes. Only Lexus and Acura are luxury cars smart people only buy as they're reliable. I didn't know that. I do know that once I wanted to buy a used BMW. I think I've told this story before, from Shelly BMW, so I was like, oh, it's meant to be. And then I found out that they only accepted premium gas, and I was like, well, that's going to be a no for me. So I did not buy it. But they are like German-made cars, right? Which seem to be, even like a Volkswagen, those are very expensive to fix. Mike, is the book Tell Me What the Earth is Saying? Yes, that is Ginny Silver's book. Hi, Karen. Okay, Vanjie says, I wonder if anyone got paid on the MEUC yet. That was kind of forgotten about, I notice. You know, didn't they start paying that out? I'm gonna find out about that. I hadn't thought about that in a while. Let me get my handy dandy. Oh dear. Got a lot of notes on here, but let me try and add that. Okay, oh, I can erase that. Okay, so what do we have? What did I just say? The MEUC. Okay, we will ask the contact about that, and hopefully he'll get back to me. Hopefully I'll remember to check my emails. Guys, I think I want to do Vlogmas. I think I just want to kind of randomly share my day with you guys. I'm going to see about that. Okay, Jelia says good morning, and hi, Aaron. Roxanne says, are they accepting affidavits? They should be. Yes, that was listed as one of the acceptable documents that the EDD would take is an affidavit from you. They said they prefer it on company letterhead, like from the company who offered you a position. But they've said that they will accept affidavits. And they've said, my contact did tell me on that it does not need to be notarized, although usually an affidavit is notarized. He also said that it wouldn't hurt if it was notarized. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, they took the extra step to get this notarized. And one of my friends last time told me, because normally when I've had things notarized, I did not know this. I am cheap. I would have saved the $20. I've had to pay about $20 to get things notarized. But my friend told me that oftentimes whoever you do your banking with, like if you just go into the bank, they will notarize it for you for free. So thank you, Joe, for that tip. Uh-oh. Okay, Siegel says, I need to go to the beach again today, always off on Sundays. Oh, that's cool. I haven't been to the beach in a long, long time, and I love it. My natty. It's not my nasty. My natty 1897 says, PUA signed up because I worked for husband doing door to door, putting flyers on door. He would pay me $100 a week. I could no longer do this after lockdowns. Plus, the doctor said due to my health, I shouldn't go out during this time. I figure my husband paid taxes on this money. And honestly, I never knew you had to pay taxes on that. I could not continue, and husband is a stickler and wouldn't pay me the money. What do I do? Okay, so you're going to get your husband to just write a letter as if he's any other business owner, right? And he is going to say, my business is X, Y, and Z. I paid my natty 1897, $100 a week. He doesn't even need to say necessarily in cash. He doesn't even need to say the amount, right? This is what I do. Please also search Shelly's Millions Affidavit. It will take you through the 6 steps to write an affidavit. it is better if he does it, and it's better if he has it on company letterhead. So I, Mr. 1897, hired Mrs. My Natty 1897 to distribute promotional material for my business. When the pandemic started, I was unable to continue offering her employment, and I have not been able to bring her back to work yet, or something like that. Just that he doesn't need to state how much he was paying you. You know, the EDD is so backed up and disorganized. They could go back and try and cross-reference the information with the name of your husband's company, but I don't know if they will. That's not to say that they won't. I don't want anybody to lie, or like, I don't, you know, Ginny Silver recommends kind of filling out an amended tax return. And technically that's correct. And I'm not a tax advisor, so this is not tax advice, it's not financial advice. But yeah, all they're asking for is a letter from the employer stating that they weren't able to offer you the job anymore, or that you were laid off. Yeah. And since you don't necessarily have to offer, well, I don't know. If you made more than $400 a month net, sorry, a year, if you made more than $400 a year in self-employment, you are supposed to report that. What was the $100 a month? Was it for an entire year? Did you have expenses like, I think for self-employment, you can deduct auto mileage, not from your house to the first destination, but if you're driving to more neighborhoods, more destinations after that, you could deduct some mileage. Was it $400 after all your expenses per year? Okay. So have him fill out an affidavit. And if he's like, no, I'm worried about this, then you're going to have to fill out the affidavit yourself. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, Karen says, you've got a notification from the EDD, but it was just regarding the year-end 1099 statement, which I want a copy sent in the mail. Well, I'm glad that it was a false heart stop, and that it was just something that you actually want from them. Guys, I actually do encourage everyone to log onto their California EDD UI online account. Even if you weren't PUA, make sure that there's not any action items that you need to take care of. I'm actually at the point where I'm starting to think about my taxes. As far as I know, this year they're not forgiving the first $10,200 in taxes. So we may owe some taxes back this year. Because remember, even if you checked the box to have taxes withheld, that they still weren't taking out taxes on the $300 a week boost that we were getting. And there's some confusion. Everybody's like, we don't pay taxes on unemployment benefits, which is partially true. We don't pay state taxes in California on unemployment benefits, but we do need to pay federal unemployment taxes on those unemployment benefits. Anyway, I was starting to think about that. So I logged on to my UI Online account, and it actually wanted me to update my password. So you want to see what your action items are, because remember, I'm expecting that it will work like last year, where that 1099G is available both online if you select that method, or as a hard copy mailed to you. Last time, I thought it would be faster to just select to receive it. And the people that actually got hard copies of their tax information from the California EDD Unemployment Office actually received the mailed version of the 1099G before the Okay, Susan says, EDD didn't ask for my tax info. I was on PUA and think they have my tax info when I applied. Yeah, so it's not necessarily tax information. They it's proof of employment or proof of self-employment. And it is possible that if you requested a higher weekly benefit amount than the base $167, that you already supplied income verification. And if you did that and your claim started before December 27th of 2020, then you don't need to submit those documents again. True Time says, are people confirming that their proof has been approved? Yes, they have started to see that. Bonnie says, my 2001 Corolla has 85,000 miles on it. I haven't been driving it, so I will be taking it in for service after the holidays. It's worth it. Yes, it is. Jillian says, what's MEUC again if you drove for Uber and had a 1099 side gig? Not necessarily. It's if you had, it's for mixed earners unemployment compensation. So that would be if you had a traditional W-2 job and you also had a 1099 job. So if you truly had mixed income, they're supposed to be giving an extra $100 a week. So again, if you had both a W-2 job and a 1099 job of self-employment, EDD was supposed to count both of those incomes and then use that to determine if you qualified for an extra $100 weekly boost. And again, to qualify for that, you needed to have a net self-employment income of more than, I think, $5,000. It's kind of high, right? Like my whole first year on YouTube in 2020, the channel was doing well, but I bought a lot of things like this laptop and some lighting. And so my net profit was $464 for all of 2020. And I started the channel back in March and was monetized pretty quickly. So, and that's right in the height of everything when people were watching a lot of videos. So only $464. So I wouldn't have made enough in self-employment to qualify for that mixed earners unemployment compensation, that MEUC boost. Okay, Debbie, let's do a movie report. Crowds, best of the bunch. Checking ID and vaccine cards, booster card test results. Are people really doing this? Yes, at least at my theater we are. We're kind of on 3 floors and we're really the only thing in the building right now. The movie theater is really on the 2nd floor. So when you get to the 1st floor, our staff are there checking to make sure that you're fully vaccinated, which right now does not include the booster. We're not checking for the booster right now, or a negative COVID test within 72 hours of coming to the theater. And that can't be an at-home test. It needs to be, it needs to be like one taken at a physician that would have someone's name on it, like where the test results are emailed, that then we check against a driver's license. So yeah, we're taking that seriously because the health department can fine us if they come and they find out that we're not doing it. And I don't know why, but ever since we've reopened, we're joking at the company that we've had like 9 health inspections. Normally we get 1 a year, but every time something little changes, they come and they visit to make sure we're doing it. So we don't want to get that fine, so we're doing it. In terms of crowds, this weekend was pretty slow. We opened a movie called Flea and Wolf. Different movies, 2 different movies. And Flea is about like fleeing a country, not like the animal that would bother the wolf. And our number 1 movie is still House of Gucci. Okay, Roxanne, you're welcome. Joel says, you drive for Uber, so I can definitely say that my mileage per year is pretty bad. I put about 40,000 miles on my Corolla 2016. I feel like that's going to be dying pretty soon. Uh, Try and get it to that 500,000 miles. Roxana says, I received an email from EDD. When I checked my inbox, I can't open the email. The subject of the mail said, go paperless with your form 1099G. Try logging on directly to your UI online so you were in the EDD inbox and you can't open the email. That is strange. I would maybe try like logging out of everything and logging back in, clearing your browser history, and then trying again. That's weird that you're not able to click the link to open the email. And I guess I should check for that. Okay, Brandy says, oops. Brandy says, I lost my place. Brandy says, I sent in my 2019 taxes with Schedule C, checked my history a few days ago, and 2021 payments went to disqualified, and 2020 payments still say paid. Reddit said only 2021 is affected. My Schedule C only showed $350. So, sorry, so I'm not familiar with that. I'm not sure why 2021 would say that it's disqualified while 2020 still say paid. I will look into that a little bit more. And if you have the Reddit thread and can link it for me in the chat, that would be wonderful. The 2021 say disqualified. Yeah, and you might wanna call the EDD about that, and I do always have my claimer link in the description down below, and guys, Claimer now calls the IRS for you if you have any questions about child tax care credits or just in general wanna check on, like, status of your refund, not the Golden State stimulus because that's the franchise tax board and not the IRS, but Claimer calls IRS now too, and that's always linked in the description down below. Hi, Daniel. Is there a limit on income that needs to be reported in taxes for the year 2020 for my submitted documents? No, there's not. You could make people that made $1 million a year in self-employment, maybe they had super successful businesses, they would have qualified for PUA unemployment benefits. Um, and people that actually hadn't begun working yet, if they had a legitimate job offer that they weren't able to start due to the pandemic, they would also qualify for benefits. So there wasn't an upper or a lower income in order to qualify. My natty says 1099, so he does home loans, and he just had me do that for help. He said that from a tax standpoint, he couldn't do it. Okay, so you're gonna have to write it. You're just gonna have to say in your affidavit, you're again, you don't need to talk about specific income. So you would say, "Hi, my name is Mrs. McNatty, 1897. I was working for" you do need to say, like, what the company's name is, "and they laid me off during the pandemic. They're unwilling to sign the affidavit, but I assure you I was working." If you have any deposits, any bank statements that can back that up, that would help the affidavit, like, if you could show that there was a $100 weekly deposit into your account. And again, if you're just giving, like, the business name and you're saying that, like, the employer's not willing to fill out the affidavit for you, it's not necessarily asking your husband's business license or your husband's business address or phone number. It would be helpful if you had that, but if you don't, you're just gonna have to supply them what you do have. Now, if it's your husband's business, it's for you, what you do have, what you're comfortable submitting, and then go from there, while also being honest with them. Okay. I don't want anybody to get in trouble for like tax evasion or anything like that. And again, I'm not a tax professional. I don't know that the EDD won't cross reference the information. All I know is that an affidavit is acceptable. They would prefer it from the employer though. Okay. Linda says, I had a letter from a debt collection agency and it wasn't even my debt. So I used something called Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to dispute it. Sure enough, it wasn't my debt. And so happy. That is crazy. I hope you've got like the kind of usually if something like that happens, they'll do like a credit watch for you to see if any other like suspicious activity is happening with any of your accounts because you definitely want to protect yourself against that. That's crazy. I'm going to take a sip of coffee if you guys would like the video. It would mean a lot to me. Okay. My natty 1897. I was always told that under 6,000 you didn't need to pay taxes. So I didn't know until all this about the $400 a year. Um, don't call yourself dumb. I'd been doing this for years not knowing. Sorry, done now. I didn't know that either, right? I had always heard I actually thought it was like $12,000. I thought that if you made less there used to be an income bracket where I think you paid 0% on taxes, and I think a lot of people thought, "Oh, if I'm under that threshold, now I think you pay 10% even if you make 0 to $10,000." But there used to be a lot of people again, I'm not a tax professional, but a lot of people thought, "Oh, if I make under X amount of dollars, I don't need to report it." And I even was like, when I got that information from Ginny Silver, who's been self-employed for a long time, so I probably should have trusted her. But I like to do my own research, right? Like I'm not sometimes I watch her videos on the way home when I do the Monday night lives to make sure that like I'm caught up on everything, but I still do my own research. And I was like, what is that true? Do you really have to report self-employment income if you made more than $400 net? And sure enough, she's right. I shouldn't have second guessed her, but at least you guys know I do my own separate research. I'm not one of those channels that just regurgitates what she says. But yeah, I hadn't heard that either. I didn't know. I think a lot of people were surprised by that, but sure enough, I did my own research. And although neither one of us are tax professionals, I found the same information that she has been sharing for a long time, which is over $400 net in self employment is supposed to be reported to the IRS regardless of your total income for that year. Maria says, "Oh, and guys, when I do my backup research, right? Because, like, there's all this stuff about can you trust the internet and like this is a credible source, this isn't a credible source. So when I do that information, when I do my Google searches, right? I'm not just looking at Reddit. I'm not just looking at one source. I'm looking at multiple sources. I'm looking at sources from attorneys. I'm looking at sources from like the IRS directly to determine whether it's correct or not. Be careful the sources of the information that you're getting, right? Like if and I'm going to admit too, it didn't sound right to me that you had to report taxes on $400. And it sounds much more logical that oh, if I make under 6,000, 12,000, 11,000, that's when I need to start reporting. But no, she is 100% correct. But anyway, like double verify anytime something that you hear sounds like maybe that's not quite right. Okay, Andrew says the CFPB can be used to dispute a collections account, especially if it's not your debt. Good job. Don't pay a debt that is certainly not yours. I agree. Even though it says you might be eligible, basically, unless you have enough W 2 wages, you wouldn't qualify for a back-to-back claim unless you've had done some work, had some attachment to the workforce since you filed your original unemployment claim. So if you haven't begun working again since you first applied in March of 2020, you wouldn't be eligible. And then I believe Uber went through a lot of changes, whether it was classified as self-employment or W-2 work, whether they were your employer and you were an employee, or whether you are an independent contractor. I believe they decided that Uber drivers are independent contractors. And unfortunately, independent contractors aren't covered under regular unemployment benefits. Okay. Prince Ali says, do I intend to get a third shot? I might get mine as it's been 6 months, but I wonder if I truly do need it. That's such an individual choice. I will share that I did get my booster. I took a trip to Florida about 3 weeks ago now, a little over 2 weeks ago. And, I do think here's an example of how the news is different. I think that the news that they get in Florida is very different than the news that we see here in California. And in California, they make it seem like Florida is like some big, crazy, unsafe place to travel. And so, which I didn't find to be true. I found that everybody there was properly masked and things like that. I even bought a cute little mask from somebody there. She was at her other job and I complimented her on her mask and she's like, actually, I make these. And I was like, oh my God, I would totally buy one. And she had them with, anyway, whatever. Um, but I wanted to get my booster before I got on a plane. Like, I don't know about all this air filter stuff, but I just didn't feel comfortable even though you're masked the entire time on the plane because you can pull it down to like eat or drink. I don't know. I wanted my booster before I went to Florida, and so I got my booster. I was like, "I have high blood pressure, I'm overweight, gimme." I think now it's approved for anyone that wants it, basically. So I did get my booster. It's not time for my mom's yet, um, but it's a really individualized choice. Like, I understand and respect people's different decisions on that, but I got my booster. I got Pfizer, so I just stuck with the same shot. I know they're saying it's okay to mix them. I'm not as comfortable with that. So I was like, hey, I had good luck with the Pfizer the first time around. I am sticking with Pfizer. So that's what I did. All right, Andrew says, the option to certify, I was doing Lyft before. Oh, yeah, we did that. My natty says, you're welcome. Yeah, and he said he added $6,000. Yeah, that's the thing. It's tricky, right? If he's an employer, it creates and he has employees, it does create other tax implications. And probably that's what he's supposed to be paying. And so you should report that. He should report that. But if he's just not cooperating, I don't suggest not sending anything to the EDD. If they're asking for it, you're going to have to submit it. The affidavit will work. So just be as honest as you can though with them, and be as honest as you can with the IRS. All right, Joel says, I will for sure get my booster because as an Uber driver, strangers get in my car, a lot of them. I'm not taking a risk. I'm getting the third shot in a couple days. Yeah, and guys, I took a couple hours off work in the afternoon to go get my shot. I wanted to take the next day off. Honestly, I just wanted to play hooky. I didn't have any reactions from the first 2 shots, so I didn't expect one from the second shot, but I didn't want to go to work the next day after the shot because I knew that because I just didn't, okay? So, I was scheduled the next day, but me and a coworker, like, we switched shifts so that I would be able to call out if I wasn't feeling well, which I was not gonna be feeling well. But then we have like an event director and he came in and there was all these events going on, and if my coworker would have taken my opening shift, he was going to still have to stay to close. And so I didn't want to make him work the overtime, and I was like, I'll just keep my shift. So we traded back and I went to work the day after my booster, and I was fine. But I didn't want to be there. It's okay, guys. It is what it is. I love my job. I do. I still love my job, but I do want I also wanna, like, value my time off, you know what I mean? And take advantage of it. Plus, for managers, our sick pay resets in January, and I still have sick pay. I wanted to take it, but it did not work out. But on the upside, I was fine to totally be at work the whole next day after the booster, first day, and, I did come home and I immediately went to sleep, though, and I felt really tired that night, but that could have just been because I worked all day. I think it was a hard shift, I can't remember. Oh, what's the picture behind me? It is a Mr. Brainwash poster. Something's about to fall over here. Hang on, let's see. There's my um he does like graffiti murals here in Los Angeles. Some people are like, "Oh, is he Banksy?" He is not Banksy. And there we go. There's a good picture of the poster on the wall. It's kind of got Madonna in there and Albert Einstein, and it says, "Love is the answer." And they gave out these posters at my work when we played the movie Exit Through the Gift Shop, which was about Banksy. It's interesting. You guys, I think, know that the artist, when I film on the couch, those little throw pillows are Banksy. I need to get like an Amazon affiliate link for those. I'm going to the Banksy exhibit. I think it's this week. No, next week. But yeah, I kind of like that style art, and it was a free poster, and it's kind of matches the color scheme of the room. So yeah, it's a Mr. Brainwash graffiti artist poster. Thank you. Yeah, and where his studio used to be is not too far from my house, so sometimes I pass it, and he really cool updated murals. Um, and yeah, kind of some people say he's like a knockoff of Banksy, but anyway, okay. Let's see here. I got lost in the comments, which happens sometimes. Okay. My natty says, I've been an old housewife who earned money this whole time by doing extra work. For my husband, that's about working. My eldest is going to be 25, so this is based on what I knew from 1996. Yeah, and I mean, a lot has changed. When I was little, I used to hang Avon catalogs for my mom, and she'd pay me like 10 cents. And I don't think I earned more than $400 a year doing it. Obviously, I was a little kid, so I wasn't spending any gas money. Like my 10 cents was what I earned. But I certainly, well, I don't think I made more than $400, but my mom was not reporting the 10 cents she was paying me for calendars to the IRS catalogs. Why do I keep saying calendars? I need to buy a calendar for my work. That reminds me, Mom, if you're watching this, can you please remind me that I need to go to the 99-cent store and get 2 calendars for work? P.S. guys, notice I didn't just ask my mom. Anything that you can get at the 99-cent store. Okay, so is the paper on the calendar going to be a little thinner if you buy it at the 99-cent store? It's not going to be nice, heavy, thick paper if you buy your calendar at, 99-cent store. But is the calendar going to work just as fine? Yes. If you write your vacation days off on your work calendar in Sharpie, is it going to bleed through the next page? Yes, but it's fine. So I save my company money. It's not my company. I save the company that I work for. I apply like my budget friendly cheapskate rules to my job the same way I do to my personal life. Guys, so this is right one of the reasons why my employer loves me. Well, maybe not always. I will look. We have like a corporate Staples account. I will shop how much like what do they call it? Like a case of copy paper. I will search how much that costs on Staples with our corporate account versus Amazon, not a corporate account. And there's like this other supplier. I will like Google all 3 of those things to see which one has the cheapest price and then order it from whoever has the cheapest price. Like I will shop 3 vendors for things that we buy regularly all the time. We needed dry erase workers for my work. I was like, guys, we're going Black Friday. I was like, guess what I'm buying on Black Friday, guys? I was like, Sharpies, or not Sharpies, dry erase markers for work. And they were like, we hate you, Shelly. But yeah, and then I got to get out I did a little Black Friday shopping because I bought Ginny Silver's book, which, by the way, if you want your own copy of her book, it's linked in the pinned comment and in the description of this video. But yeah, I bought her book. I did do a little personal Black Friday shopping, but buying things for my work on Black Friday with the company card helped satisfy my urge to like see what the deals were. We got ourselves some dry erase markers. Okay. Hi, Miss Pretty Lady. Karen, you got your booster, no side effects, and peace of mind. Yeah, that's what I think. Hello, Edward. Good day to everyone. Miss Pretty Lady got vaccinated, but not the booster. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are waiting on the booster. That reminds me, I should ask my roommate if they're going to get the booster. Joel, since you drove Uber, this is something that I wondered, right? Like, and I feel like here's where people have like slipped off on like keeping their guard up against things. Did Uber drivers, were you guys like taking Lysol wipes to the door handle? Because if not, weren't all those people getting in and out of your car just touching the handle, probably with their ungloved hands? And then like, I don't know. I guess they say now that it's not spread by touch, but that's what I wondered. I was real sketched out about taking Ubers during like, I guess we're still kind of in the middle. It's still really at the height, quite honestly. Thank goodness the hospitalizations and deaths aren't as high, but there's still a lot of cases. I just heard a weird noise, like a tapping at my door. Anyway, but I'm not expecting anyone. I'm not expecting packages. So hopefully it's that weird cat that I half adopted. Anyway, okay, back to your questions. There's 52 of you watching. If you guys could like the video, I would really appreciate it. I'll take a drink of coffee so that you guys can do that. Ooh, I got lipstick all over this. Okay. Joel got Moderna, the mother lode. Yeah, I heard that one made people feel real sick. It packs a huge punch. That is what I've heard, but I've also heard that the Moderna booster, because of that, is like 50% of the original dose. I'm not, oh, is it cc's? I don't even know what a cc is, but I feel like I've heard that on medical shows that I don't even watch medical shows. But anyway, 2 ounces, 2 milliliters, let's say milliliters, because at least that's actually a measurement. Let's say you were going to get 2 millimeters of the vaccine. I'm not sure if they just give you 1 millimeter in the booster or somehow they like lower the dosage on the booster on Moderna. Okay. Yep. A lot of you saying Moderna. I've heard that Moderna made people feel sick. I had no trouble with Pfizer, but I kind of heard that Moderna's been more effective. So it's a trade-off. I don't know. Hi, Annie. Your business is family owned and the license and bank account are in your name, but your two sisters are your business partners. They don't appear on any of the documents. What should I do? So I don't know if you mean in terms of filing taxes or if you mean in terms of reporting to the EDD. If it's just for the EDD to prove that you were self-employed, they wouldn't need any of that. Now, for the IRS, if your business is making money, I would go ahead and officially list them as employees and list their expenses and whatever you paid them. Because otherwise, unless you're personally willing to pay all the taxes on it, because if you're sharing the business, and even then, I don't know if that's legal because if you're paying them, they really need to be reporting it. But basically, like the taxes need to be paid on that business. So yeah, in terms of filing taxes, I would properly list them as employees. But again, be careful about that. Or somehow, like, you know what? I'm actually going to say that I don't know since you guys are all co-owners. Consult with a tax professional on that. That's going to be my advice, that they will tell you the best thing to do in that situation. If it were me, I would only want to pay taxes on like my share of the business. I wouldn't want to pay all the taxes, and I don't know if it's even legal for one person to pay all the taxes if really three people are getting the money. So not legal advice, not financial advice, not a tax professional. Check with your tax preparer on that. Edward got the booster a day before Thanksgiving and got side effects. That sucks. Dude, some of my coworkers are getting like the booster and the flu shot in the same time. I'm like, man, bold move, my friend. Like, because I've heard that that's a doozy as well. Okay. Thank you guys for saying that you like the picture. The next emergency in the side effects went away. Prince Ali says Moderna shot is extremely potent. Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard. Hi, Francis. FNC. Alan Resnick. Hi. I've heard a lot of shelves at the theater are missing. I did see 2 items missing from the theater. Hi, Alan. Alan looks like Santa, but he's Jewish. Happy Hanukkah, and he used to be. No, I was like, he used to be my boss, and then I started to say you were still he used to be one of my bosses that I keep in contact with. And whenever I have questions about my house, I always ask him and his wife. I've been thinking about you guys. We should go grab lunch soon. Alan loves to eat. If he looks like Santa, I'm sure you guys could deduce that. Lauren says, like, anyway, so yeah, we sell these items. And actually, I did notice the other day that like 2 of them were missing. But most of the time, the items that we had on display to sell are actually like empty DVD cases. Really, what you'd be surprised about, Alan, is like we're putting out like posters and like we have things on the counter, and the box office isn't always open because we're that slow. Anyway, good to see you, Alan. Like the video and call me later so that we can go have lunch, maybe before the new year. And I would love to see Rita. Okay. I think once somebody popped in that knew Rita from the theaters. Anyway, okay. Uh-oh. FNC. Have I heard about any of the signed affidavits getting approved? Yes, I have started to see reports that people who signed off on their affidavits, they have been notified by the EDD. It's certainly not everyone. It's like a few people have heard that their documents have been approved. So not just that they received the documents, but they actually were approved. Okay. Edward, I guess after you take the booster shot, it really depends on the individual. Everyone has different immune systems. Yeah, and different mindsets. I think like I just told myself like you can't get sick, you can't get sick, you can't get sick because you got to get up and go to work tomorrow. Francis, you did newspaper. I don't understand. What are we talking about? Anyway, Lauren says, I keep trying to log into my account and it says error code E0001. I called and they said it's happening to a lot of people and I'm still locked out. Thoughts? You can try using a computer. If you normally log on from your cell phone, try the laptop. If you normally log on through the laptop, try a cell phone, try a friend's cell phone, try like clearing out your browser history. Sometimes those will fix that error. Otherwise, hopefully it will correct itself. I don't get any kind of bonus this year. So yeah. Who told you shelves at the theater are missing items, Alan? Also, our concession menu is still pared down and the bar is not open. So We got all that going on. Okay. Joel says, literally after every ride, you had to wipe the car down, but it got so busy to a point where I didn't have the time and requests just kept pouring in. I try to clean as much as I can on the door handles of the Uber. Well, that's good to know. I was wondering like if they did it at all. And I also, when I was in Florida, I forgot that like to protect the drivers, the passenger's not supposed to ride in the front seat. So in Florida, there were 3 of us sharing an Airbnb and we all had to cram into the back seat. And because I totally forgot that nobody was supposed to ride in the front seat to kind of try and keep as much distance as possible between the driver and the passengers for safety. Anne says, what if I put gross and not my net income on the application? So then they might send you an overpayment notification and you might need to request a waiver on that. Maria says, I was going to start my balloon business in 2020, but I didn't. Only a few jobs before the pandemic, but I don't have any proof and no business license. What can I show as proof? So you could write an affidavit. You could say, I know there were a lot of TikToks, right, about balloon making for parties, right? You could say, hey, I was planning on starting my business. This was my business plan. This is how much supplies were going to cost me. This is how much advertising I was planning on doing. These were my potential clients, or these were the these were the groups that I was going to try and sell to. If you did go to like Party City or the 99-cent store or wherever, if you had already purchased balloons for the business, then you would I'm reading Ellen's comments probably about lunch. D and R, tell D and R that I said hello. Anyway, so you would write down, any business expenses. If you have receipts that you'd started to purchase for the business, you could submit those. So any expenses that you had, and then a business plan or an affidavit, just, which would kind of be a business plan, but more like in a paragraph, just kind of like a written statement. You could submit that. You could say that you were in the process of getting your business license, if that's true. I have a business license even for this room, just to make sure everything is on the up and up. I want to make sure that I can deduct this part of my mortgage as a deduction off my self-employment. So I got the proper business license that says I will only use this blue room for filming. I won't have parties in here or rent it out or anything like that. It's 100% business use, tax man, but it is. This is like my desk. Over there's where I film. Over there's where I sometimes point to the map that bad grandpa hated. Okay. Orange Julius, the vaccines don't keep you from getting or transmitting. That is true. Only keep the older and more vulnerable from serious risk. That's it. Yeah, but like to a lot of us, that's worth it, right? Because my mom is old. That was like one of my biggest fears during all of this, is that I would get it and spread it to her, and I would be devastated if I lost her. So for me, even if we don't know everything about the vaccine right now, it's worth it for me to try and protect her. And what else did I want to say about that? Since it is so transmittable, like I wouldn't want to give it to my coworkers who maybe live with an older parent. Like my mom doesn't live with me, but some of my coworkers do live with an older parent. Some of my coworkers are immunocompromised. Some of them live with someone who's immunocompromised. Basically, like I would just have so much guilt if I found out with certainty that I had somehow been the source of transmitting something. Oh, I would just feel really bad. And I think that we can still transmit it, but it's like not supposed to be as powerful or something like that. I don't know about all those details and quite how all of that works. But yeah, if it lowers my chances of transmitting it to someone where it could seriously do long-term damage or worse, then that's a risk that I'm willing to take. But yeah, you can still contract it and you can still spread it. That is true. But it's a layer of protection. Okay. Yeah. At the auto repair shops, mechanics and shops employees had to wipe down all vehicles and spray disinfectant and let it sit 24 hours before working on it and returning it to the owner. That might be true at repair shops, but I know for sure that I went to get my car fixed during all of this in the city of Los Angeles, which is pretty strict, and they didn't do that. I have to switch this from top chat to all chat. What in the world? I think I'm missing some of the comments. I say that every week and I never remember to fix it. Hi, Black Dragon Jazz, waving from California. Good to see you. FNC says, have you heard of anyone's? Oh yeah, FNC. If you just popped out, I have heard of people saying that they received notification that the documents that they uploaded were approved and accepted and good. So again, it's not a lot of people that have started to hear that. So that's kind of how we started out this live stream today, and we're nearing the end. So I'm going to pop off soon. But yes, I have started to hear that people who have already uploaded their PUA proof of employment, PUA proof of self-employment, all of that, some people have started receiving notifications that the documents that they provided not only were received, but were acceptable proof of documentation. So that's good. And I would say, like, I've maybe heard like 3 people about that. Everyone. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Alan Resnick looks like Santa, so we can gather that maybe he's not a young elf anymore. But yeah, he's very Republican. And he's saying that everyone should get vaccinated. So I was very glad to learn that, Alan. And I sometimes, I like money. So sometimes I have some Republican beliefs. I don't like to share exactly where I am on the political line. I like to think I'm in the middle. I'm sure Alan thinks I'm very Democratic, but you never know. But I'm very glad to see, Alan, that you support the vaccine. Yeah. But Alan, I went to Florida and they do not support it there. It's interesting. It was really interesting. But they were masked. They seemed to be like following the guidelines and things. So that was good. El Esperimento says, have a question. How long does it take ID.me to approve for unemployment? Usually, so ID.me says that they approve it like pretty much instantly within 24 hours. The EDD can take up to 10 days, though, to actually kind of like open the document and look at it. And then it can be another 30 days from there. Orange Julius, can I upload my TurboTax PDF of my tax return to the EDD without a signature? The PDF form from TurboTax has a blank line in the signature because it was e-signed. Yeah, I think so. And if you want to include like a kind of cover letter on top of that, just say, here's my tax return. It is not signed because I e-signed it, and this is a printed copy of that. I think that would be okay. You're a science-based conservative. I'm curious to know what you think on like some of these other things, like the women's rights things. I know I didn't want any kids. Working at the movie theater, having a kid, I don't know how people do that because we work really late nights and then sometimes turn right around and open and all of that. Anyway, I hope that they keep all those things in place, all the options. All right. Does anybody else have any questions this morning? Otherwise, here we go. Maria, are they still sending the unemployment tax refund? I never received mine. This is a question that comes up quite a lot. And I want to start off by saying having the first $10,200 this time around. So we're going to owe taxes on all of the unemployment money that we received, including that $300 boost. So and in California, we don't pay state tax on unemployment benefits, but we do pay federal tax. So with that said, the unemployment refund for 2020 would have, yes, lunch soon, Alan, would have only been for people who filed their taxes like before March 16th. So you would have needed to be somebody who filed your taxes really early. They pushed the deadline to file the taxes out really far. If you filed your taxes after approximately March 15th, it was a little different for everyone, right? For all the different tax programs. So roughly after March 15th, if you filed your taxes then, They were already the tax software at H&R Block, the tax software at TurboTax, the tax software at Liberty Tax. All of the people where you could potentially have your taxes filed, if you filed after March roughly 15th, all the programming was in place to not count the first $10,200 in unemployment benefits when they calculated your initial refund. So for me, I waited to file my taxes. Usually the deadline to file is April 15th. So I just kind of did it around then. I didn't want an extension. I wanted to know how much I owed. So I think I did mine like April or in those first 2 weeks of April. And by then, the programming was already in place, so I didn't get like a separate refund because the amount I owed was already lowered because the tax software already had it in the programming. So that would be the most common reason why you never got a refund on what you originally paid. And if you do still have questions about that, then go ahead and I would call the IRS. And it used to be impossible to get through, but Claimer does now dial the IRS for you as well. And I always have them linked in the description down below. Debbie says, in closing, actually, tomorrow I am not going to be on at 9 p.m. So I'm going to have everybody vote. I have to look at either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or I guess Friday for different streaming day, and I'll do some different times. I know Ginny Silver sometimes hasn't been going live. I don't want to like go live on the same day she goes live, so I'll double check with her and try and then like do like a poll so that you guys can vote on when you'd like to see me go live. I kind of want to participate in Vlogmas, but I don't really know how to vlog. So, but if I uploaded a vlog every day, that would certainly teach me. But instead of doing a true vlog, I might just experiment with going live. And I have a Lego set that I bought to build on YouTube. When I first started YouTube, I thought I was going to talk about finance and side hustles. I would like to try and stream on Twitch and see if I can make money that way. I don't know if you guys would be curious about that, but there's a program that I think allows you to stream on 2 different platforms, so I might experiment with that and see if I can stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, just building building Legos that I bought for that purpose to see if I could make money on Twitch and then report back to you guys, but maybe I'll just do that live. Anyway, so I may try and go live at random times every day doing the Lego build. I've never built a thing of Legos either. So this would be my first time. So it'd be like a Lego unboxing and building it and just kind of talking with you guys, maybe on a daily basis, but not necessarily at the same time. Yeah, and then we'll definitely do like the unemployment Q&As at a different time this week. I also like I know this is kind of messed up, but I want to kind of work the YouTube algorithm, and doing the Q&As back to back isn't necessarily the best for YouTube to push it because I have a lot of views on Sunday, Monday, and then it just plummets like the rest of the week. And I, of course, am behind on filming videos because I'm back at work full time. I actually worked a 12-hour shift yesterday, but I got to work in the bar, which was fun for an event. Okay. Debbie says that I need to write my BAT book. Guys, check out Ginny Silver's children's book, which is pinned in the comment above, or I've got a link to it in the description down below. Get your 2 free stocks with Webull. Now's a good time to buy in the stock market because it's dropping, in my opinion. Not a financial expert. Cass is reminding everybody to give the video a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll do a poll, I think, maybe right after I post this. I got to look at when I'm working, and then I got to consult with Ginny Silver on when she's going to go live this week, so I'm not competing with that. Alan, we will have lunch soon. And let's see here. Thank you, Black Dragon, for helping Orange Julius. Although I don't see the comment that helped, but whatever. You guys are helping each other. I love it. And FNC said, did those 3 I'm referring to that submitted proof and got approved send a signed affidavit. I don't know what they submitted as proof. So let me write that down. I have a couple of things to follow up on. So the MEUC boost, someone was wondering if people had received that. I thought I had heard that they did, but let me double check. I'm going to write this down again just to follow up. Uploading additional documents. And were the people that found out that they approved, what did they send in as proof? Found out, approved, send as proof. Because you're wanting to know if anyone who sent in an affidavit. Am I doing the shorts video to make extra money? So that's I would like to earn money on YouTube, right? And the most recent short I made, I think, was on this guy. And that was to try and see. I just want to be honest and transparent with you guys, right? And I'm sure you guys are curious, like if you started your own channels, would it be profitable? So I made a video, right? First of all, I love this guy, right? Like I genuinely do. He's like a happy, sad baby Yoda. Nobody wants to see sad Yoda, though. Anyway, so he's like a happy, sad, reversible plush baby Yoda. And that video it's 4 seconds long. Oh, and I was trying to like capitalize on it's got the Squid Games music in the back. So I'm just trying to figure stuff out with the YouTube algorithm. I was curious with that one if people would like follow a link to buy this guy, because I have an Amazon Associates link. I don't, which I use to post for Ginny Silver's Ginny Silver's book. That is an affiliate link, right? Because if somebody's going to buy it anyway, it doesn't cost you guys any more to use an affiliate link, so I might as well post it. I was just curious, but the video itself isn't available for monetization. But I thought it was cute and I thought it was fun. Kind of like building Legos might be cute and fun. Oh, his little hand's all mushed. I think this isn't a good bite. Get unmushed head. Oh, why is his head caving in like that? Get out. Oh, no. I think I just gotta, oh, here we go. There we go. Anyway. So I was just curious if people would like follow the Amazon link. Spoiler alert, they didn't. And the video was too short to get monetized. So it was just it's a baby Yoda. So like from Star Wars, but then there was a show on Disney Plus, which I'm actually paying for. I don't like paying for services, but I am paying for Disney Plus. He's from The Mandalorian, a TV show. He's kind of like an alien, I guess, but he's a baby Yoda from like Star Wars. And he's just reversible. I guess kids use these to express their moods, like if they're not feeling talkative. So it can be like a therapy tool. But I guess people use them to communicate with their boyfriends or girlfriends, like if they're mad or if they're happy. Anyway, I don't know. I made it. I was just trying stuff out, which I may do. Like I want to experiment with other stuff. So yes. And then I made a different short about Yada Bank, which I legitimately love, but that time I checked not to send to my viewer. And I was just curious. I did want to see if it would make money, but yeah. You had a baby doll that would be asleep and then awake. Oh yeah, totally. I think we all, like, if we were girls, we probably all had that. Like it would you'd lay it down and the weird little eyelids would close and then like you'd pick it up and they'd open. You like the mean face. No, he's happy today because some people are starting to find out if they were approved with their PUA documents that they uploaded. You like the sad face. That I try and use him like when he's got bad news. When we got bad news, he's got the sad face. But we have good news today. All right, you guys. I will put up a poll to try and decide when else might be a good time to go live this week. I might do a Lego build live. You guys don't have to tune into that, because I'm not that great at multitasking. I should use my little emoji. So it's hard for me to do like, I probably can't build Legos and answer unemployment questions. I might try, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I will submit a poll to figure out when I'm going to go live again. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.